Guys, in this next news story, following an extensive Wiltshire police investigation, 8 people have been jailed for a multi-million-pound conspiracy to supply coke across the southwest. For almost 5 years, the group, which was led by the brothers Warren and Kelroy Allison, used encrypted communications networks to ship more than 70 kilos of coke across the region, purchasing in bulk and then breaking it down into smaller quantities to distribute onwards. Following a 12-week trial at Winchester Crown Court, they were sentenced to a combined 82-year prison sentence. The ringleader, Warren Allison, was jailed for 23 years. So at the heart of the operation were the brothers Warren Allison and Kelroy Allison, who ran a significant cocaine operation over a 4.5-year period. Richard Cowell was recruited as a trusted driver using a specially modified vehicle provided by the Allison brothers, containing a purpose-built concealment to covertly and securely courier huge quantities of Class A drugs and cash on behalf of the brothers across the southwest. Cowell used an EncroChat phone with a handle named South Kangaroo and admitted in trial also couriering cash and drugs on behalf of other organised crime groups. During the period, it was estimated that in excess of 70 kilos of coke was supplied around the country, primarily in the southwest, with an estimated street value of around 5.6 million to 7 million pounds. Portia Densley, who is in a romantic relationship with Warren Allison, acted as the finance manager, delivering and collecting cash from customers and couriers, transferring money to various people on Warren's instruction, and managing the vast quantities of cash generated as part of their criminal enterprise. Her role allowed Warren Allison to run the drug business smoothly. So there was another incident which involved Warren Allison, and it culminated in the seizure of 4 kilos of coke in Bristol on November the 3rd, 2020. Warren acted as a broker for the coke deal with an estimated street value of £320,000 to £400,000 to be delivered to his cousin, Anthony Burke. The coke was supplied by Albanians Ledian Hoxha and Pejada Pisha. Police surveillance officers captured the moment the drugs were delivered, and shortly after it was received by Anthony Burke, officers forced entry into the address, detained and arrested Burke, and located the coke inside a bag for life. Enid Aliko had assisted in facilitating the drug supply by providing an encrypted Sky device, and then acted as a conduit for the Albanian crime group and Wiltshire-based drug suppliers following the arrest. Following the seizure of the drugs, members of the group, including Hodgson and Pisha, fled the UK in an attempt to evade arrest. During the investigation, the Wiltshire Police's Serious Organised Crime Unit commenced an investigation in 2020. The use of covert police tactics, including surveillance, demonstrated the scale of the offending and identified other people involved in the Allison brothers' criminality. By forensically examining thousands of documents, phone reports and telecoms data, connections were drawn between the Allison brothers and their multi-million-pound Class A drug operation. Further support was provided by the NCA, assisting in assessing the highly encrypted Sky communication devices, revealing the level of disruption and panic that had been caused by the shutdown of the EncroChat network by French law enforcement in June 2020. Evidence was also obtained following the execution of a warrant obtained by Chippenham neighbourhood policing team at the home address of Kelroy Allison. His mobile phones were found to contain years of drug ledgers and evidence of drugs trafficking going back to 2016. During the trial, the Allison brothers and Richard Cole claimed that the messages and evidence relied upon were not, in fact, referring to coke but counterfeit clothing, and that it was the delivery of clothing that they were expecting to be delivered to Anthony Burke on November the 3rd, 2020. It was all proven during the trial that Warren Allison had been using the EncroChat handle Legal Master. Following the trial, the Allison brothers Cowell, Burke and Densley were found guilty. Aliko, Pisha and Hossa had previously guilty to 2 counts. So Warren Allison, he got 23 years for conspiracy to supply Class A. Kelroy Anderson got 16.5 years for conspiracy to supply Class A. Richard Cowell, he got 9 years. Portia Densley, 8 years. Anthony Burke, 8 years. Ledion Hoxha, 7 years, 4 months. Pedja Pidja got 6 years and 8 months. And Enid Aliko got 4 years. The investigating officer, DC Matthew Harvey of the SOCU, said the investigation had systematically broken up a significant operation which was dealing huge amounts of coke across not just Wiltshire, but the southwest region and beyond. The drugs that the Allison brothers, aided by Cole and Densley, dealt between 2016 and 2020 will have contributed to the social, health and economic impact that coke has in the country, such as the associated issue of antisocial behaviour, drug-related violence and crime. So there is also the considerable violence and exploitation which takes place along the supply chain. The ringleader behind the organised crime group, Warren Allison, has now been sentenced to more than 2 decades imprisonment, whilst his brothers have been jailed for more than 16 years. Said the wider associates have also been jailed for several years, and intel from this operation enabled numerous other targets, arrests, operations and disruptions to be made to many other organised criminals across our region with whom the Allison brothers had been associated with. Said, I hope these sentences show that those involved in organised criminal activity are not untouchable or above the law, and there are dedicated teams targeting these individuals and they can be brought to justice. So that we know that Warren purchased numerous high-value vehicles, including a Lamborghini, Mercedes C63 and an Audi RS6 with his ill-gotten gains, and these extravagant displays of wealth did not go unnoticed by the public nor the police, because we were watching him whilst he was driving these flashy cars. So guys, this is a new story. Absolute madness. And guys, check this next story out. 2 men have pleaded guilty to burgling a restaurant in Camden after police arresting them outside the venue trying to failing and open an entirely empty cash register. Detective Constable Michelle Anderson, the Islington-based CID officer who led the investigations, as officers were very quick to get to the scene of the burglary and were able to arrest both suspects before they could make off. But even before police arrived on scene, their criminal plan wasn't going so well. CCTV footage showed them trying to and failing to open the drawers off their cash register, but even if they had managed, the till was completely empty. At around 6 o'clock in the morning on Saturday the 25th of January, police responded to an alert from London Borough of Camden CCTV operators to a break-in at a restaurant in Camden High Street. Officers arrived a short time later, and Paul Hohe and Javan Burton were in the Camden area and they were caught red-handed. Both men were charged with non-residential burglary for stealing the empty tills, to which they pleaded guilty at Highbury Corner Magistrates Court. They're both going to be sentenced at a later date in February. But absolute madness. Guys robbed a till and it was bloody empty. Crazy world, man. So guys, there's a story coming from the streets of the UK. Once again, if you already haven't done so, please subscribe to the channel. Please give this video a little like, and also please leave a comment below as well and I'll respond. Once again, big respect going out to each and every one of you for always supporting, always encouraging and always pushing through so we can catch the algorithm. But big respect. It's your boy GT. Keep it locked, keep it real.